Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Harry Kane has handed in a transfer request at Tottenham. Manchester United, Man City and Chelsea have all made contact with Harry Kane's representatives. Tottenham want around 150 million. Ryan Mason has dismissed suggestions that Harry Kane asked to leave Tottenham in the summer transfer window. The Athletic recently said we could swap Lingard for Harry Kane, and now there's been talks of an Anthony Martial and Harry Kane swap deal because Tottenham want a players plus cash deal for Harry Kane. Quite a few weeks ago, it said that Harry Kane wants to win team trophies. He said that after Tottenham's Carabao Cup final defeat to Man City. Tottenham have not won a trophy for 13 years, and it said the other week that Harry Kane is ready to ask Tottenham to listen to transfer offers this summer. He says the Glazers were planning to sanction a £90 million bid. Harry Kane wants his future to be decided before the European Championship on the 11th of June. He wants to stay in the Premier League, but we have been in for him for a long time. I would take Harry Kane at Manchester United. The main explanations is because Harry Kane would assure his goals. He's good at creating chances and he's well proven in the Premier League. Kane has endured 17 years at Tottenham, so he's been a very long servant. He's been in their senior squad since 2009. He's under contract with Tottenham until 2024. He has won the Golden Boot a couple of times, reflecting on his good performances. He's had loan spells before with Leyton Orient, Millwall, Norwich and Leicester. But he is regarded as one of the best strikers in the world. He said not so long ago, we fear we could miss out on Harry Kane forever if we don't sign him in the summer transfer window. Man United still want a striker, despite Edinson Cavani signing a one-year deal not so long ago. Edinson Cavani is staying at Manchester United for next season. And I'm very, very delighted that he is because he has made a fantastic impact since he's come in. But yeah, Kane to Man United is possible. You know, we have done business with Tottenham before. You know, don't forget we got Dimitar Berbatov off them a lot of years ago. And we also got Michael Carrick off them. Tottenham are obviously looking for a replacement for Harry Kane. You know, Tottenham are going to really, really struggle without Harry Kane. They're struggling as it is now. You know, they sacked Jose Mourinho earlier on this season. But there's a lot of players that Manchester United are looking at. I think there's a chance that we'll sign Jadon Sancho in the summer transfer window. Borussia Dortmund are open to Man United buying Jadon Sancho. Reports from Germany have said that Jadon Sancho is dreaming of a move to the Premier League. Man United are the favourites to sign Jadon Sancho. It recently said Jadon Sancho's representatives are more confident than ever that Sancho will join Man United this summer. and he says we are ready to launch a bid in the region of 65 million to 75 million pounds. I think Dortmund are demanding around 85 million pounds. But yeah, Sancho to Man United is close, and Sancho expects to complete a move to Old Trafford this summer. It recently said we could use Jesse Lingard to buy Jadon Sancho because Dortmund have been interested in Jesse Lingard. Solskjaer has made his final decision on Jesse Lingard's future. Solskjaer is ready to sell Lingard. Lingard's out on loan at the moment with West Ham, and he's made a fantastic impact since he's gone out on loan to West Ham, and obviously West Ham want him permanently. But Lingard wants a permanent move away from Man United. The reason we loaned him out in January is because he got frozen out of our squad. The Manchester Evening News said not so long ago that Sancho is pushing for a transfer out of Dortmund this summer. But earlier on this season, Borussia Dortmund did confirm that they've got a gentleman's agreement with Sancho over a possible transfer. Chelsea are interested in Sancho. Liverpool were in for him, but as far as I'm aware now, they're no longer in for him. And Bayern Munich recently entered the race. Borussia Dortmund have already admitted that they'll sell Sancho for the right price this summer. And Borussia Dortmund's CEO did reveal that the club will discuss exceptional offers for the winner. Last summer, Sancho was our number one priority target. I thought we was going to sign him last summer because Sancho to Man United was extremely close last summer because the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, and even a contract had been agreed, but we couldn't come to an agreement on an actual fee, so that's what the stumbling block was. We was only willing to pay so much up front. You know, Dortmund were demanding £108 million. Dortmund made it clear to us last summer that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so Sancho remained at Dortmund. Fabrizio Romano has spoken a lot about the Sancho saga, and so too has Bill's Christian Falk. Fabrizio Romano said the other week that Sancho would be 100% happy to join Man United this summer. Because he did mention that Sancho was keen on a move to Man United last summer. But the reasons I'd take Jadon Sancho at Man United is because he'd dramatically improve us, he'd assure us goals, he's very good at creating chances, and he would exceed expectations in the Premier League, and he's still young and he's got a lot of development in him. Plus, he's got a very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. He does talk a lot with Marcus Rashford. This has been Jadon Sancho's fourth season at Dortmund. Dortmund paid just £8 million for him from Man City back in 2017. And he's got a contract with Dortmund until 2023. We've looked at some alternatives to Sancho. It said not so long ago we was looking at Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich, and we've also looked at Ousmane Dembele before. Solskjaer also wants Rafael Varane from Real Madrid. The Manchester Evening News recently said that Man United were holding exploratory talks with Rafael Varane as he considers his future at Real Madrid. Now, Real Madrid wants £60 million for Rafael Varane. It recently said Man United are preparing a £40 million bid. That's $20 million less than what Madrid are demanding. Liverpool recently held talks with Rafael Varane. It said earlier on this season that Chelsea were the favourites to sign him, and it said Chelsea were prepared to pay £61 million. He said earlier on this season that Real Madrid were closing in on the signing of David Alaba from Bayern Munich, so reflecting on that, it said we'd been handed a boost in our pursuit of Varane. Varane's contract talks with Real Madrid have stalled. His current contract expires next year. Eduardo Inda, the Spanish transfer expert, said earlier on this season that Varane could be on his way to Man United this summer. Real Madrid said they are prepared to sell Rafael Varane on one condition: he must inform Real Madrid on his decision to leave. We went in for Rafael Varane 10 years ago, and back in 2018, Woodward was prepared to sanction a £100 million move. The reasons I take him at Manchester United is because he's a world-class centre-half. He'd complement Harry Maguire in our back line. He's highly experienced. And he would exceed expectations in the Premier League. You know, he'd replicate what he's done in the years he's been at Real Madrid. So they're the reasons. He's been a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He's endured 10 years with them. You know, he's won 18 major honours, so he's got a good pedigree behind him as a player. And he's made over 300 appearances in all competitions. Real Madrid paid just €10 million for him from Lens back in 2011. And Man United is still in search for a centre-half, despite Eric Bailly signing a new contract not so long ago. So there you go. Solskjaer has already said that he wants 3 world-class signings in order to make Man United challenge for the title next season. Solskjaer says we've got to strengthen to challenge Man City. It's not long now until the summer transfer window opens. The summer transfer window will be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. Solskjaer is aware of how big the summer transfer window is going to be for himself and Manchester United in general. It's very imperative that Solskjaer gets the players that he wants to recommend in. Because I don't think Solskjaer has been backed enough so far. Solskjaer's made it clear that he wants good backing. You know what? I'm expecting him to get the backing he deserves because we've got John Murtough, he's our director of football. We've got Darren Fletcher, he's our technical director. And we've also got Matt Judge. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aware of how big next season is going to be for himself. Because next season, Solskjaer has got to exceed expectations if he is to remain Manchester United manager. If things go wrong next season, then I think there's a very, very good chance that he will be sacked. I think Solskjaer is our best manager since Ferguson because he has made very, very good progress and he's brought consistency back to Manchester United. And you know what? I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect, I am shocked. There is a lot of Manchester United fans that are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in and they believe that he needs more time at the club. Obviously, a lot of United fans have heavily criticised Solskjaer and obviously a lot have demanded him out. Obviously, they've got their reasons behind it. Like I've said on a lot of my other videos, I don't think Solskjaer is the long-term manager for Man United. But I think he does deserve at least one more season. I hope Solskjaer's a long-term manager for Man United, and I hope he succeeds as Manchester United manager, because we do adore him. But yeah, there is a lot of positives regarding Ole. You know, he's got us to the Europa League final. The Europa League is obviously our priority. We do play Villarreal in the Europa League final. Villarreal are not world beaters, but they are no pushovers. It's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first major final as Manchester United manager, and it's our 8th European final. Solskjaer is looking to get his first trophy on the board as Man United manager. You know, we haven't won a trophy since 2017. You know, we win the Europa League. That'll give us confidence, and it gives us something to build on going on into next season. Obviously, if we lose the Europa League final, you know, Solskjaer's not going to be sacked. That's already been made clear. Solskjaer recently gave a special press conference ahead of the game against Villarreal. Obviously, Harry Maguire was mentioned, and Solskjaer is positive that Harry Maguire will recover in time for the game against Villarreal. It's not long now, that final. Solskjaer also deserves credit because he got us to the FA Cup quarter-final this season. He got us to the EFL Cup semi-final as well. We've got a very good away record in the Premier League. We are unbeaten in our last 25 Premier League away games. So we haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for over a year. We've been far better away from home than we have been at home. All our defeats have come at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. Solskjaer recently come out and said that the protests have affected the players. And another reason why I don't think we've been that good at home is because obviously there hasn't been fans there for a long time, and that obviously has a big impact on the players. Solskjaer did well last season in his first full season. He guided us to 3 semi-finals, got us a 3rd place finish, and got us qualification for the Champions League. You know, he has made good signings as Manchester United manager. So far, he's spent almost £300 million. He has got rid of a lot of the dead wood since he's come in, and I like the way he has promoted the youth. And we are now currently sitting second in the Premier League. Obviously, finishing second is not an achievement, but obviously it's a higher finish than last season. We're probably going to finish second, aren't we? We are guaranteed Champions League football for next season. So like I said, you know, there is a lot of positives regarding Ole. I do have my concerns about him as well. My 2 biggest concerns is that he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager, but that doesn't mean he can't succeed as Man United manager. And his decision making also concerns me, because in a lot of his games at Man United, he has been tactically naive. But there again, there's some games where he's showed tactical flexibility, but he's got to do that persistently. This has been Solskjaer's second full season. He has been Manchester United manager now over 2 years. And reflecting now on he's been at the club, he has gained some managerial experience and he's learned quite a bit on the job. The reason Ole is still Man United manager though is because he's a club legend. I think that's what's basically saved him. Disregarding being a club legend, I can almost assure he wouldn't have been Manchester United manager now, because there was a couple of times where Solskjaer was very, very close to getting sacked. But Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. You know, we appointed him in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. A lot of United fans think we should have waited until the end of that season to decide whether or not to give him the job. So yeah, a lot of United fans thought we're giving the job too early, and some United fans in general thought that we made a mistake giving him the job. But he did well as the interim manager, so that's why the club gave him the job permanently a couple of years ago. You obviously know the news regarding the Glazers. Obviously, I think there'll be more protesting ahead of the game against Fulham this evening. Obviously, before the game against Liverpool not so long ago, our fans protested against the Glazers outside Old Trafford, but obviously that time it was a peaceful protest because we were supposed to play Liverpool on the 2nd of May, but obviously that game got postponed because hundreds of our fans went inside Old Trafford and invaded the pitch to protest against the Glazers. Quite a few weeks ago, our fans protested against the Glazers at Carrington, and some of our fans blocked entrances into the Carrington training ground, and obviously there was holding banners up. Solskjaer said earlier on this month that the Glazers apologised to him. He did mention that the violent incidents went too far, but he says the club have got to take notice of the fans. And earlier on this month, Solskjaer was angry with Gary Neville over the Man United protests. Gary Neville's had quite a lot to say on it. Joe Glazer, not so long ago, wrote a letter to Man United fans, and Avram Glazer, don't forget, refused to apologise over the European Super League. Because Sky News caught up with him in Florida and he refused to answer any questions. Will the Old Trafford protests force the Glazers out of the club? That is the question. That is the question. Not so long ago, it said the Glazers could be forced to sell Manchester United, but for only £4 billion. Before that, it says the Glazers have got no intentions of selling the club. Solskjaer said earlier on this season that the Glazer family will not sell Man United, and before that he told protesters that Joe Glazer loves the club. Earlier on this season, Joe Glazer released a statement and he apologised to club fans over the European Super League plans because the Glazers were planning to ditch the Champions League for the European Super League. The Glazers bought Manchester United for $500 million in 2005, so they've been with us 16 years now. But we get them out, it would be definitely the right decision because, you know, the Glazers have put us in so much debt. And in general, I hate the way the football club has been run now for a long time, so we've got to recommend new owners in. We know that Ed Woodward is going to be standing down at the end of the year. Because it got announced earlier on this season that Ed Woodward resigned as Manchester United vice chairman. You know, I presume all United fans were happy with the news regarding Woodward because we've been very critical of Woodward for a long time. Not so long ago, Ed Woodward's mansion got attacked by masked protesters. Who will be our new chairman to replace Ed Woodward? Now, the last time I read up about it, it said that Edwin van der Sar was the favourite to replace him. It says there could be 5 candidates that Manchester United could look at. Woodward did say, though, earlier on this season that he believes Solskjaer is the right man to lead the club forward, and he released a statement regarding players in the regarding Solskjaer and the players earlier on this season, saying that the progress by Solskjaer and the players this season is clear. And in general, Woodward's come out several times to show his support for Ollie, even when was enduring them really, really bad periods. Woodward has had a 16-year association with Manchester United. Quite a few players are going to leave Man United in the summer transfer window, so in that aspect will generate money and it'll help us with our rebuilding process. There's a good chance that we'll offload David De Gea. I'm expecting us to offload Romero. I'm also expecting us to offload Lee Grant. Williams, I think we could offload him. Diego Dalot, I think we'll be looking to get rid of him permanently. He's out on loan with AC Milan at the moment. Andres Pereira, I think we'll be looking to get rid of him permanently. He's out on loan with Lazio at the moment. Matic, I think there's a good chance we'll offload him. Pogba could leave Man United in the summer transfer window, but I hope he doesn't. I want him to stay potentially past the summer because he brings creativity to the team, and we've been getting the best out of him in recent months. Recent reports have said that Paul Pogba could leave for just 55 million in the summer transfer window. Juan Mata, I think he could leave Man United in the summer transfer window, but Solskjaer recently said no decision has yet been made on Juan Mata's future. Juan Mata's current contract expires, I think, next month, but there is an option to trigger his contract for a further year. And obviously, a lot of United fans have said that we need to sell Anthony Martial. It recently said the 10 players that could leave Man United in the summer transfer window. But there's also a lot of players that will stay at Man United. And I reckon there's quite a few players that have got long-term futures at the club. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.